So I run every morning. I run about 3-4 miles every morning, and only recently within the last 2 years did I start to really focus on nasal breathing during a run. And every once in a while I'll put the tape on and I'll do a run with the hostage tape on, and it's amazing how difficult it was first starting out. You can't believe that, oh, wow, I'm actually using my mouth to breathe a hell of a lot more than I think I am.
Again, I think this could be a really awesome way for somebody to introduce a little bit of running, like run with the tape on, and then when needed, walk. But seriously, walk, slow down, maybe even just rest on a tree or something, because it's gonna be really, really difficult. And I've actually been practicing it for a while, but it's very difficult for me to run with any sort of real speed with the mouth tape on for any period of time. So it's really nice because it forces me to slow way down.
I've had to figure out a certain pattern of how I breathe. I think you were talking about it a few months back.
That's a big thing because you can breathe a lot slower than you think.
You can. And what I started to notice is I had to start to do a cadence of how I would go. And I would do it with my steps, right? Yep. And once I figured out the cadence of how I would breathe through my nose, it became a hell of a lot easier than when you're like, how do I do it? You just don't know and you can't find that rhythm.
Yeah.
So
a couple of years ago, I'd never been a runner. And a couple of years ago, I decided to cultivate the habit. So I was like, I am going to run every single day. And that's going to be what I commit to. And then, it starts snowing and raining and all this stuff. And when I got into the winter
Where do you guys
months,
live?
I live in Portland. He lives
Minnesota.
in Minnesota. Yeah.
You guys are both in spots that have some crazy weather.
But what I noticed is in the winter, especially when I was running, I would mouth breathe. And I would get side cramps, because I'm breathing in all this cold air. It's making my throat just ache because the air is so cold, and I start getting side splints and
Just
stuff.
stay a little closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry about that. And so one of the things that I noticed is I started changing, and I taped the mouth and I started breathing through my nose, and it made all the difference. The side splints went away. I didn't have the burning in my throat anymore. And so because there's this natural warming element that happens when you go through your nose as opposed to letting the cold air directly hit. And so it made a big difference.
Pet Project family, we talk about meat all the time on the podcast because protein is essential for your health. That's why I partner with Piedmontese. And if you head to their website, they have so much different types of beef. They have beef sticks, beef jerky, tons of different cuts of meat. You should go check them out. Andrew, how can they learn more?
You guys got to head over to Piedmontese.com. That's Piedmontese.com. And at checkout, enter promo code POWER to save 25% off your entire order. And if your order is over $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
Right. But I also want to add into there, this is something that takes time. Because when I started nasal breathing with jiu-jitsu, it didn't feel good.
Feels horrible.
It feels horrible. It feels
really difficult. I feel like you're going to pass out at times.
It doesn't feel like you can get the amount of air that you typically would if you're going like that, right? So it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. But like you're saying, if you can push your nasal breathing capacity during the exercises you do, and this can be some low intensity cardio, this could be you doing a little bit of kettlebell work.
Maybe it's just a walk.
Could you, during a walk, hopefully you're not breathing through your mouth during a walk.
It's not hard for you. But
if
it is.
I don't think most people realize that, though. I think people are still walking and running, and they're breathing through their mouth, and they don't realize that, oh, shit, I should keep it shut and do my nose.
I think part of the challenge, too, is it's a quantity over quality thing. Because one of the things that Nestor talks about is just because you think you're getting more volume of air into your lungs, you actually get more oxygenation of your blood by breathing through your nose because of the capillary actions create this nitric oxide reaction that allows the blood to take up the oxygen much more effectively than it does through,
even though that might feel better.
Exactly. Right? It might feel better, but it's a quantity over quality thing.
Absolutely. And this is also one thing that Patrick mentioned. Patrick mentioned that even as he started trying to breathe more through his nose, it took time for that to feel good. It's like if you're someone who perpetually or breathes a lot through your mouth, when you start focusing on breathing through your nose, there's little muscles in here too that probably don't get that much action. So they will develop over time and it'll be much easier to do that. That's why I just want people to understand that this isn't some for some people, it's going to be, ooh, this feels great. But for some people, breathing through your nose when you're sleeping or when you're doing a lot of other things may very well be quite uncomfortable. My sister's quite overweight. And right now for her, I'll see her over at my mom's house. And when she's walking around, her mouth's like, this. She doesn't even realize she's breathing through her mouth. And I have to continuously remind her, hey, shut your mouth, right? And if you're someone who's not like, maybe you're not thinking about it, or it's not something that's been at top of mind, you could be working at your computer. And I'm sorry I'm rambling, but I'm remembering when I was like 24 or 23, when I was with one of my exes, I was wearing some Beats headphones and I was at the computer, and she's like, why are you breathing so loud? And I'm pretty sure my mouth was slightly open when I was doing some work on my computer. So these are things you sometimes don't think about and don't even realize you're doing. But if you can become more cognizant during your day to just try to keep it here, that'll make it easier at night.
And it's also interesting too, because I think a lot of people, you're right, it might not be comfortable, but it's important to push yourself through those comfort zones. I mean, you know it through training, you know it through, any sort of progress that you ever try to make. If all we do is stay in the thing that we're used to, or the things that we're comfortable with, then it's really hard for us to get better or grow or to progress, And so I think that that's an important component.
And it's trying it too, right? This is something that's non-invasive, it's inexpensive,
right.
And it's something that everybody can try it. It's not as dangerous as people think. Like the people that, it's amazing. Like we all see the comments of people who are like, they think this is so dangerous.
I have allergies.
Right. And like
You're gonna kill people.
And they're not going to wake up. Like, well, what if you have a stuffy nose and you just don't wake up? Like you're going to wake up, right? But it's something that's non-invasive. That's easily something you can try just to see how it goes, right? And you preach it all the time about just being able to try things.
Right.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too. So you can get whatever you like from us. All right. Peace.